She didn't leave suddenly. She left months ago, you just noticed late. And that is the part nobody talks about. Because the story we tell about relationships ending is always dramatic. A big argument, a final conversation, a door closing. But the truth is, most women don't leave like that. Most women leave quietly, slowly, in pieces, long before anyone around them realizes what is happening. The silent sign she already left. And no, she didn't pack a bag. She didn't slam a door. She didn't even raise her voice. She just slowly stopped being there. And if you are a woman watching this right now, you already know exactly what I mean, because you have felt it. Maybe you are still feeling it right now, that strange place where your body shows up every single day, but your heart has already moved on. When you go through the motions, you smile when you need to, you keep things running. But deep down, something in you already knows. You already made your decision. You are just waiting for the right moment. Or maybe just enough courage to let it be real. Pay attention to this, because today we are going to walk through the silent signs she already left. And if a man happens to be watching this, I need you to stay with me too, because by the time you notice something is wrong, she has probably already been gone for a very long time. Let's get into it. The first silent sign is she stopped telling you about her day. Think about that for a second. There was a time when she came home and talked. She shared the small things, the frustrating meeting, the funny thing that happened, the moment that made her smile. And somewhere along the way, she just stopped. Not because nothing happened, but because she stopped believing you were actually listening. When a woman emotionally leaves, she doesn't announce it. She just quietly closes the door on the parts of herself she used to share freely. And most men don't even notice. Because the house still looks the same. Dinner still gets made. Life still moves forward. But she's not sharing herself with you anymore. And that silence is louder than any argument she could have had. The second sign is she stopped reacting. Pay attention to this one, because it's one of the most misunderstood signs there is. When a woman is still invested, she reacts. She gets upset. She raises her voice. She pushes back. She cries. She tries. But when she's truly gone on the inside, something shifts. She becomes calm in a way that doesn't feel like peace. It feels like distance. You say something that used to start a whole conversation, and she just nods. You forget something important, and she doesn't even flinch. Men sometimes mistake this calm for things finally being okay. But that calm is not peace. That calm is a woman who has already decided. She made noise when she still believed something could change. When the noise stopped, it wasn't because she was happy, it was because she was done hoping. The third sign is she stopped asking for things. There was a time when she asked you to be more present, to communicate better, to try harder, to show up differently. And maybe you listened sometimes, maybe you didn't. But at some point, she stopped asking. Not because she no longer needed those things, but because she stopped believing she would ever get them from you. A woman who is emotionally left stops requesting, stops reminding, stops pushing. Because deep down, she already knows the answer. She's not testing you anymore. She's not waiting for you to change. She's already made peace with the fact that you won't. And that is one of the quietest, most heartbreaking signs of all. When a woman goes from asking for everything to asking for nothing, she's not being low maintenance. She's already planning her exit in her heart. The fourth sign is her energy goes somewhere else. This is the one men almost never catch in time, because she's still there, still physically present. But her energy, her excitement, her passion, it starts flowing in a completely different direction. She puts more into her friendships. She starts a new project. She focuses on herself in a way she never did before. She starts working out, reading, building, growing. And on the surface, it can look like she's thriving. And in a way she is, because she stopped pouring everything into something that was draining her and started investing in herself instead. Pay attention. When a woman suddenly starts becoming more focused on her own growth in the middle of a relationship, it's not always because she's inspired. Sometimes it's because she's preparing to be okay without you. The fifth silent sign she already left is she stops picturing you in her future. This one runs deep, because at one point, you were in every plan she made. The vacation she imagined, you were there. The home she pictured, you were in it. The future she was building, you were standing right beside her. And then quietly, slowly, without ever saying a word, you disappeared from those pictures. She still makes plans, but you're not in them anymore. She talks about what she wants to do without mentioning you. She makes decisions without factoring you in. She starts thinking in terms of I instead of we. And most men never notice this shift until it's too late, because it doesn't come with a conversation. It doesn't come with a warning. It just quietly happens. And by the time he realizes he's been removed from her future, she's already built a clear vision of life without him. The sixth sign is physical closeness fades without explanation. She doesn't make a big deal out of it. There's no fight about it. She just slowly stops reaching for your hand. She stops leaning into you. The small moments of warmth that used to be automatic start disappearing one by one. And when you reach for her, she doesn't pull away dramatically. She just feels far away even when she's right next to you. Because physical closeness follows emotional closeness. And when the emotional connection is gone, the physical one fades with it. A woman who has decided she's done doesn't announce it through coldness. She announces it through absence. Small, quiet, invisible absence that adds up day by day until one morning you realize you can't remember the last time she actually felt close. The seventh silent sign she already left is she stops fighting for the relationship. Real love fights. It argues, it communicates, it pushes through discomfort because it believes something worth keeping is on the other side. But a woman who is emotionally left stops fighting, not because she's at peace, but because she no longer believes the fight is worth having. She used to bring things up. She used to push for resolution. She used to stay up late trying to fix what felt broken. And then one day, she just stopped. She let things go. Not because they didn't matter, but because she realized she was the only one fighting. And a woman can only carry a relationship alone for so long before she puts it down and walks away quietly. When she stops arguing with you, when she stops bringing up the hard conversations, when everything suddenly feels fine on the surface, that is not a sign the relationship is healed. That is a sign she has already let go. The silent signs she already left are never dramatic. They don't announce themselves. They don't come with warnings. They live in the small moments most people overlook, in the conversations that got shorter, in the laughter that faded, in the plans that stopped including you, in the woman who used to pour everything into a relationship and slowly learned to pour it back into herself instead. And here is what I want every woman watching this to hear right now. Your silence was never weakness. The moment you stopped begging for what you deserved was not giving up. It was growth. It was your heart finally choosing itself after spending too long choosing someone who didn't choose you back. The calm you found was not indifference. It was clarity. And clarity is one of the most powerful things a woman can have. Because a woman who has truly decided does not need to make noise. She does not need to explain herself. She does not need permission. She simply moves, quietly, purposefully. And when she walks out, not always physically, sometimes just emotionally, she carries herself differently. Because she already knows something that took everyone else too long to see. She already left, long before anyone realized she was gone. If this spoke to something you've been feeling but couldn't quite put into words, you are not alone. And if nobody has said it to you lately, let me say it now. You were not too much. You were not asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong person. And there is a version of your life waiting for you on the other side of that realization. A version where you don't have to leave quietly, where you don't have to shrink yourself, where you don't have to beg for basic love. You deserve someone who notices you before you go silent, who pays attention before you check out, who fights for the relationship before you've already decided there's nothing left to fight for. If this video hit something real for you, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Because we are just getting started.